Is that like a death trap?
No, it's a hot tub.
It's a hot tub.
Oh, that's fantastic.
See, we weren't joking when we said we were relaxing in the hot tub.
No,
Oh, you have sunglasses.
yeah, there's sunglasses. It's nighttime, but I wear my sunglasses at night. So that happened. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I need fraps.
I'm actually recording already.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, nice. I should have
Catching
been
all
too.
these little gems.
Yeah.
They're great for the intros.
They are.
Kids say the darndest things.
Hey everyone, Suzie the Sawyer here with Somnia Stellarum and BayStaird. We are coming to you from BayCraft SMP, a modded FTB Direwolf20 server of awesomeness and collaboration project of a ton of awesome YouTubers. The channel links are down in the description, so you should definitely check everyone out. Today though, Somnia and BayStaird and myself are hanging out, and Somnia is actually like this mad genius of all the modded things, and he is going to be giving us an intro as to all of the different awesome things that we can do. So I'm going to hand it over to him.
I feel like there should be like that sound effect, like womp womp.
Your results may vary.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're hanging out in our hot tub, and or my hot tub, I should say. This is fun. I really like this. And we want to talk a little bit, do a little bit of an intro with power systems and modded Minecraft and the different types of machines that we can do. So I think it's going to kind of be like a bit of a question and answer period for a bit. I'll kind of talk about like how I approach things, and then see what you guys want to do or whatnot, and kind of the different things. Like when I was talking about the scuba gear before we started recording, I could show you those machines and how I got them powered, and they're kind of a little special because they've got their own power systems and different stuff like that. So yeah.
So do you need a special machine just to make a scuba gear?
You need an MF, I think it's an MFR, a Mine Factory Reloaded machine, and then their power systems are different than some of the other power systems for the other machines that we'd be using. So we can head over to my machine room, and I could kind of show you guys that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see how they're different.
Yeah. Okay, so the machines that I used, oops, sorry, they were Industrial Craft actually. So Industrial Craft was one of the first mods, I think. And so they started, and each mod sort of created its own power system. So Industrial Craft has their own power system, and then something like Thermal Dynamics came after and created their own power system. So
Right.
the power that everybody tends to use now is RF power. So if you look up, like if you look at my dynamo over here, it says how many RF a tick it can generate. And right now it's kind of in a bit of an idle state, and it's generating 8 RF a tick. So each machine can generate a different RF per tick, and there's some blocks that will store. So this energy cell is just made to store energy. So it stores
Kinda like
RF per tick.
Gigantic capacitor, right? This dude.
Yeah, yeah. And you can actually even get like bigger ones. Like this one can store up to 200 RF a tick. Or no, wait, sorry. It could store up to 400,000 RF total. And you can get like, you can get some that can store up to like 2 million RF. And then there's even multi-block structures in Ender.io that can store like however many you want, like however many you want to build you can build up like a 6x6x6 sort of structure and store like a heck of a lot of power. But the tricky thing with industrial craft is it actually uses a different power source. So if I go in here and I'm looking, or if you go into NEI and you look up any of the industrial craft stuff, they all say like EU per tick or something.
Oh, all right.
So the way that I was able to get my energy transferred, most machines actually work pretty well in terms of transferring over. They just kind of accept whatever is given to them. But industrial craft, I had to actually, if you kind of, I got to dig down here. I needed to use RedNet cables to hook up to these conduits, and that automatically RedNet.
What the hell is a redneck cable? Okay, rednet. Got it.
Do you guys watch Smarter Every Day?
I don't.
It's a guy on YouTube who is an actual rocket scientist. He's from Huntsville, Alabama, and he's got like the redneck like southern drawl and stuff, and he's like a super smart guy, and it's like the best YouTube channel. It's so awesome.
That would be awesome.
Okay,
so those are RedNet energy cables for Mine Factory.
Yeah.
Where are those coming from? Like, what are they doing?
Okay, so the power is coming out of this energy cell over here, and it's going along those cables in the background. And this is where, like, yeah, this is where morphing into like a chicken or something is really useful. You could just like get right in the back here and move around and stuff, and kind of do whatever you need to do, sort of thing. So I can get like right in the back here and do all my wiring and stuff, and I'm out here.
I think a bat might work well too, because I can get
into
a lot of small places being a bat.
Oh, cool. All right.
Or
are you a fish? You're a silverfish.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah.
So you're taking the RFs and you're converting it into what these machines need?
Yeah. So these RedNet energy cables are able to kind of connect with those machines. So that's how I'm able to convert that into what I need.
Oh, okay. So otherwise for the Mine Factory stuff, you would need a power source that was producing EUs.
Yeah. Which I don't necessarily want to do. Like, I want to have one power source and kind of...
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense, especially because you can use lava drums. You can go into the nether or wherever you're getting lava from, pump it into the drum, send it through the dynamo, and then use this basically as a capacitor for some of these smaller machines.
Yeah. And I can even build... there's a power monitor that I usually build. It's from Ender.io, and it gives you like a readout of how much energy you have stored throughout your network as well. So like each machine has its own sort of like internal capacitance. So it has a bit of energy stored up, and you can actually use a power monitor to sort of measure how much you have stored throughout your network. Like if you have 20 different machines, it'll measure all the energy through all those 20 machines, along with all your capacitors and that sort of stuff. And you can really do some like quite sophisticated power system type stuff.
Nice.
Which, as an engineer, I just love all this stuff.
Oh yeah, that's where I am. That's the only reason. I won't say the only reason. It's one of the big reasons Redstone from vanilla was one of the reasons I got so enthralled with the game to begin with. All the automation you could do just in the vanilla world. So yeah, this stuff is a little much because I'm still trying to learn like what each I think it's because we have so many mods. So like what you're saying is I've only used Ender IO so far. I have a leadstone energy cell. I have some of the Ender IO machines, but I don't have any of these applied energistics or industrial craft stuff yet. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still very, very new to it, but it's fascinating.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this alloy smelter.
Yeah.
Now, like I hit shift and it tells me a bunch of different stuff. Like it says that you can upgrade it with capacitors. What are capacitors?
Okay, so if you go into the screen and you can see there's like 100,000 RF that's stored up in there, right underneath that there's a spot that you can put capacitors. So capacitors will speed up the machine, and I think it will also let you sort of improve your power storage as well. And then I think some machines might have like functionality that would be opened up by the capacitors. And then
Like
to
on the
find
alloy smelter, I think the only one I saw on that one is on the alloy smelter. If you use like the double layer capacitor,
Yeah.
it will work basically twice as fast. It's a tiny bit less efficient, but it's basically twice as fast.
So right now it says it's in redstone mode. Like, can you switch that into other modes? Like, what happens when you do that?
Yeah, well, the alloy smelter can work like a furnace, or it can actually. Let me see if. Okay, so if I wanted to make Invar, for instance,
Cool.
I can make the Invar blend, which is by sort of mixing a couple different things together. And the other thing that I can do is I can actually smelt 1 ferrous and 2 iron together. So let's see. I'll just go and grab. I think I have some.
And see, Suzie, you're looking at that where it says redstone mode up on the top right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Always active. You can actually change that to where it actually would require a redstone signal to process.
Oh.
Right, like right now it doesn't need a redstone signal because it's always active.
Oh, okay. So what's the
And then
buttons
the bottom right-
down below?
Yeah.
These?
So the next one is configure IO. That's how you can actually make it push and pull from things around it.
Oh.
And then the bottom
So
button
what happens
is
if I
furnace.
click on these things? Will I mess it up?
Go ahead. Probably nothing that he can't fix.
Yeah, go ahead and change whatever you want. Actually, I'll show you
Okay.
guys a setup that I want to do. In any case, just give me a second to grab some stuff.
So configure IO. What does this do?
Okay, so like hover over the side that's facing you, and you see where it says none.
Yeah.
Like if you put your cursor on any of them, there's nothing there to see, right? If you took a chest, I don't have one, do I? Anyways, you can talk about it. If you took a chest and put it on top of this thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Instead of it saying none, it would say, oh, there you go.
Oh, it says pull.
Yeah. And then if you
Oh.
left click again, you can push and pull or push only.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you can basically
Oh. So
you can
this
put
is
a
like
chest
an
on top of
automatic
it.
furnace, basically. You can feed stuff in and
Yeah.
then it can pop stuff right out.
Yep.
That's nice. So what are the
It helps
recipes?
automate.
Oh, these.
Hold on.
Oh, 266 recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it.
Well, and that's
Holy
because
cow.
it basically gives you everything. It's kind of like going through any eye to find something, but you can basically cycle through these and find, oh, I need to know how to make, well, what he said, he's going to make some Invar. I need to know how to make Invar, so I have to put these two things together.
So, okay. So now I see how this can be a furnace or it can only make alloys.
Yep, you can put it in furnace only mode, alloys only, furnace only, and then all smelting, which would basically leave it all smelting. I don't really know, and maybe you can answer that. What is the benefit of changing Is there some things that you can only do in one mode or the other, or is that more for automation?
There are some things that you can only do in one mode. So like if you have all smelting, it's like I can cook up some dust into ingots or the different stuff like that. But if I want to do, for instance, alloys,
Right.
so well, one of the first ones that I need to do in order to get these conduits, if I just put iron and redstone in there together, and it creates this conductive iron, which lets me create the conduits. So all the conduits in the back, it's made with those that conductive iron, and so you have to use the alloy smeltery to like kind of combine stuff, right? You can also use it to create.
Somehow I got a hopper.
Oh, that's fine. You can also use it to create invar by putting ferrous and iron together in there. So now it's creating an alloy of invar there. But then the real nice part about like all the automation, like automatically pulling out and taking stuff in and all that sort of stuff, is a setup like this, where I'll use that hopper. So let's say this is a chest at the top. You can have the pulverizer be set up to accept. Let's just do like so. Sorry, I'm just trying to configure this all. Okay, so this is all set up now, and I can basically put any ore that I want into that hopper, and it will automatically smelt it, and or it'll pulverize it and smelt it, sort of not quite in one step, but like back to back sort of thing. So if I dump all this stuff in there, yeah, this will automatically process all my stuff. And now if any of the outputs that I have here, I just need to pump that into like whatever chest or my AE system, and it'll automatically smelt like all my ores. And I can even have this be like an automatic setup where anytime I go mining or I have a quarry that's picking up ores, it will automatically bring it in here and get it all smelt up for me.
Okay,
that way I don't have to go in.
What is the point of having a smeltery?
You can do, well, the smeltery is really good at the beginning because it doesn't take a lot to make that. So this takes a lot of metal in order to get a system like this all set up at first. Yeah. And then you also can't do like your tinker's tools any other way.
Yeah. Like if you're trying to make
to make the parts of the tools. Okay.
Yeah. Then you have to be able to melt the metal and then pour it.
Okay. So that's not something that you can use ingots on a tool forge for then?
Well, in terms of automating it, it might be tricky. You might still be able to automate it though. Like even the tool forge.
Oh, can you really?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. It depends, I guess.
Yeah, because I know like the smeltery is good. Like you said, if you're going to stick with tinker tools, which is fun, I think you have to have those to actually pour the shapes that you need. But the thing is, once you've made the items, you still only need the ingots to fix them.
Yeah.
So you only really need the smeltery to get the original pieces that you need to make whatever it is you're trying to make.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and
this is really useful for automating, like if you're going, automating mining, or even if you just come back with your, your miner's backpack chock full of stuff, and you can chuck it into a sorting chest, and it will just start processing it.
Yeah. And even your smelter, you could actually automate that if you wanted to. Like, there's a lot of different ways of moving items back and forth. So like in vanilla Minecraft, we always have like these hoppers, or there's like item channels with like ice on the bottom of them.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But in modded, you have like item ducts that you can use to move stuff around. or
You can use that. What are those channels you make with the? What are they called? Ender pearls, right?
oh
Can't
yes,
you make a transport system with Ender
yeah, Ender IO stuff.
flexible conduit? Yeah, flexible conduit or something.
Yeah. So to do that, you need an item conduit in Ender IO, and you need a bunch of Ender pearls and that sort of stuff. Yeah, you can use that if you have a good supply of Ender pearls. Although one Ender pearl goes quite a way, so you can maybe get like 30 or 40 conduits out of one Ender pearl. So that's certainly something you can look at. There's a lot of ways, like even AE, like if I wanted to use this, I could use that to do like all of my item transport and just have a bunch of AE conduits or what is it, AE glass cables, have those kind of spread out throughout my base, and use that as all my item transport. And
wow.
Yeah, so, and you can even do stuff like when you have your query, one thing I usually do with my query is I set up a small little AE system so that all I have to transfer back is my ME drive. I just take it out and I bring it back to my base. And that has all my items in it. So me and Suzie were talking before we started recording about like the AE system and what you can do with it. And it's like a big item storage. It's like a mega chest.
All right. I don't know. Oof. That's getting into more and more. I mean, it's totally fascinating. It's like you said earlier. It makes my head hurt though after a while because the thing is you start looking at recipes and you're like, oh, I need one of these, and then you look at the recipe for that and it's, oh, I need 14 of these things, and you just compounding over and over and over again.
Yeah. The nice part about AE, the really nice part about AE is you can actually have like auto crafting set up. So if you are constantly doing something, like constantly crafting like a chest or something, you can automatically have it craft those for you and keep a certain supply of it for you.
What?
Yeah, and if you kind of built up, like if you know you need a chest in order to build a hopper, you can tell it, okay, here's how you build a chest, and then here's how you build a hopper with the chest. And then if you go into your AE network, you can actually tell it, I want to build 20 hoppers. It'll automatically build the 20 chests you need and then build the 20 hoppers. Like, it's really cool that way.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna have to do some more homework.
Yeah.
So that's all just from this right here, from this terminal and the drive. You can make all that happen.
It takes a bit more than that. Like, you need crafting computers. You need storage for those computers. Once you get up to that point, you likely need to start worrying about channels. So let me see. Let me just show you one thing with AE.
Yeah, I found patterns.
Let's see.
I'm trying to think.
Okay, so there's
crafting coprocessors.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Holy crap. There really is.
Okay, I need a piece of wool. Don't know if I have it. If not, I'll just kind of explain it.
I don't have any wool.
I don't have wool.
If I turn into a sheep, can you shear me?
That'd be really funny if you could.
Let's try that right now.
I'm so willing to try. Does anybody have shears?
Yep, here we go.
I've got a lot of iron. I should have shears somewhere. Oh, I do.
Yeah, let's see if this works. Won't this be something?
No.
Oh.
Dang it. Oh, man.
It was worth the try.
Yeah,
It was worth a try.
Worth a shot.
You could be your own unlimited source of wool.
Wouldn't that be so awesome? And you don't have to eat. Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
I just have a couple more questions. Okay,
Sure.
so you put everything into the pulverizer to get the powders, and then the furnace to make them into ingots. And then, so what is this one for? What is the alloy smelter for? Like, what are these processes?
Yeah. You sometimes need the alloy smelter to do the alloys. So, like, if I want to make conductive iron, I have to
Okay.
do that through the alloy smelter. And you might want to just, like, I could easily take, I can actually just take this and we'll like replace this whole setup. And of course I don't have storage. So I can take this alloy smelter. Did I put it there?
I think she
Okay.
got it. Oh no. I was like, oh, I think she got it.
Okay, so I can put this alloy smelter right here and kind of do all the configurations. And this is like just as good of a setup. It's just a question of like which I prefer. And even the pulverizer, there's many different ways
Sag
of doing
mill.
that pulverizing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like this whole setup, like you said before, I can use my smeltery to do this whole process too, right? Like just for smelting up your ores. But then there's a
So,
whole other set of issues that way, right?
what's
Do
the
you get
difference?
random others?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you're fine.
What's the difference between this and the other smelter that you just had here? The redstone furnace or whatever.
They're from different mods. So and then this one has a little bit more functionality.
Oh.
But then the way you upgrade it is a little different. So like the furnace that I had before was a redstone furnace. I'll just put that over here, and you can add augments to it. And if you just search up augments and look under like thermal expansion, you can see what all of the different augments do. And you can put different augments in it. Same with the Ender IO stuff, you can put capacitors to upgrade it, basically. So it depends what you want to do exactly and how you want to set it up. And sometimes you just want to play around with a different mod and do different things. And like if you want to if you want to just play around with applied energistics and getting that to automate stuff like this, you would maybe do it a little bit different. And like there's 1,000 different ways to get it to work. So I guess that's part of the fun is finding your own way to make it work.
Okay.
For the pulverizer, it doesn't look like you have a space to get like random stuff like what you get from the sag mill. Is that true?
You
Like if
do
I-
get
Go ahead.
get a secondary input. Like if you look in there right now, there's a bunch of ferrous metal. That's from when you pulverize iron. Yeah, when you
Sometimes you
pulverize
get
iron,
that.
you get
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah, you will get like a secondary output. A sag mill, I think, is a little bit better, but the pulverizer is a little bit cheaper and easier to make, I think.
Okay.
But I think in the long run, going to a sag mill is a little bit better. But then you also want to make your dark balls and stuff because that will make your process more efficient and stuff.
So,
Yeah, I know with the sag mill, I just didn't know if maybe you got different stuff. So I didn't know if it gave you more random drops or if it was pretty much the same.
is the sag mill
Yeah.
basically a pulverizer? Can you pulverize the ores like you did?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah,
You can actually
but
so they're basically they're two different mods, two different methods to almost the exact same end.
Okay.
Because you can put wool in there and make string. You can put giant bone segments from the nether and make bone meal. You can put all kinds of stuff in there and make it something else.
Oh, neat. Seriously?
You know you could rename that tool, eh?
No, I didn't.
The axe is the Woodsman, the excavator is the Hole Digger 2000, and this one's called Hammer Time. And I'm telling you what,
great.
the hammer is ruined mining forever.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just dig gigantic holes everywhere. You should go down, if you go downstairs in my base at all, you'll just find random hallways of random lengths that are just holes. And you'll know all I was doing was punching holes in walls with the hammer for like 10 or 15 minutes.
No, I
did
watching
find like 100 diamonds though.
somebody else mine that way, and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It was
been
fun.
fantastic. It definitely gets us a little further down the road in our understanding, as far as what the machines do and how to hook them up and how to make them potentially work together. So,
Yes. Which I need to even just get started on.
well, good. This has been excellent. It's been a lot of there's been a lot of really good information, and I'm happy to learn. And I've been trying to scour and watch everything that I can to try to pick up little tips and tricks, and then bring those back and use them in some interesting way. So, well, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video, and I definitely hope that you guys have appreciated the learning opportunity. We appreciate our host, Somnia, for having us in his lair and teaching us about machines and some of the basics to wiring up machines and really trying to develop some of our understanding of what we've got going on some of these mod packs. So if you have liked what you've seen in the video for any of these channels, first off, go over to the other channels if you're watching mine, or either way, make sure you subscribe to each of us and everybody on the server, because there's a lot of great content coming out of the server right now, and I know people are seeing a lot of new faces as far as subscribers and fans and such. So do go over and check out the other channels. The links will be in the description. Mash that like button. We certainly appreciate that, and definitely leave comments down below, because I know I read them all and I try to respond to every single comment that I get. I'm sure these guys do as well, because we definitely like hearing questions or concerns or comments that our fans have. So we will leave you here for now. Definitely let us know what you think about the series. But for Somnia, for Suzie, and for BayStaird, we are out.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys later.